Good morning. I am just complete with my workout and I am on the way home. Today was an interesting day. This week, I am doing my absolute best to go to bed or be in bed by 9 p.m., which is huge for me because I'm a night owl. I do not go to bed at 9 p.m. Prehistorically in the past, I have not gone to bed at 9 p.m., so this is all new to me. But here's what it is. Here's like the root of it all, right? The goal is for me to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. And that means I'm the type of person that needs to sleep 7-8 hours. I need to probably sacrifice an hour of sleep if I'm waking up at 5 a.m. So I've got the variable where I'm shifting from being a night owl to a morning person, and it's taking some time for me to adjust. It isn't super painful all the time, but right now it's a little bit more painful than I would like for it to be. Asleep. I started wearing my Oura ring again so that I can track my data, so that it gives me information, and I'm looking at how much sleep I'm actually getting, because when I crashed this past weekend, and I crashed because I was waking up at 5 a.m. and going to bed at 11 or 11:30. Like, you can't do that, right? You're running off of less than 6 hours of sleep, and that's not working out for me at all. So this weekend when I crashed, I kind of scared myself a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is not good. I really need to pay attention here so quickly. So I've been taking my sleep time, as far as like the time I'm in bed, very seriously, and winding down and switching, changing into my pajamas, taking off my makeup, washing my face, putting on my skincare. So that's happening basically at 9 p.m. or at like 8:30, 9 p.m. And so that feels really good and solid. And then this morning, I just couldn't get up. I looked at my Oura ring and it says, great job. You had 6 solid hours of sleep. And I'm like, 6 solid hours of sleep. So I went back to bed for 2 hours. So I didn't get my 5 a.m. And then it was just really hard for me to wake up. So that's what's happening. Now, confessions of a coffee-holic. So I talked about this already, that I basically stopped drinking coffee. Actually, not just coffee, all caffeine for 6 months. I stopped caffeine for 6 months. I had no idea how that was going to happen or whether or not it could ever really happen for me, but it did. So it took about a month for me to recalibrate and start running off of pure fuel and energy, because basically, if you're not going to drink caffeine, you need to sleep. Like, the whole purpose of stopping caffeine is so that you can sleep, so that your body tells you exactly how tired you are. And so if you're tired, it means you need to sleep. That's just it. Like, imagine you are running off of a battery and your battery is basically spent and there's no more juice in your battery. What are you going to do? You're going to either replace the batteries, which in a human body you cannot do, or you recharge the batteries, which is what needs to happen. So sleep is how we recharge our batteries. And when we're pushing and pushing and pushing and drinking caffeine and covering up the exhaustion with caffeine, then of course you're going to be exhausted when you stop the coffee. Of course you're going to need to recharge your batteries and sleep when you're quitting caffeine, right? So I did that. It took a couple of weeks. And then I caught up, and then I was like, great. I was waking up in the morning. I didn't need coffee. Like, that was amazing. A couple of weeks ago this month, I was like, okay, it's been 6 months. Maybe it's time for me to just introduce coffee. First, I was like, once a week. I'm going to have a coffee once a week. It's going to be a sacred ritual. Blah, blah, blah. I have one coffee, one latte, and I'm like, bing! This is amazing. Oh my God, this energy. I love it. Seriously, like an addict, proper addict. Now I know for sure coffee is a drug because of the addiction. Like, I'm addicted to it. I freaking love it. And it doesn't take much. It's like, and the whole reason, you guys, the whole reason I actually stopped drinking coffee is because I started having symptoms of interstitial cystitis in my bladder. was being irritated from all the oxalates. And it took me 6 months to figure this out because I'm doing urine cultures. It feels like a UTI. It's not a UTI. The cultures are coming back negative. It's not culture. What is it? Is it a cyst? I'm going to my kidney doctor, like making sure that I don't have any kidney stones. Okay, it's not kidney stones. I did a kidney ultrasound. All right, so it's not that. Then I went to my OB-GYN. I'm like, okay, is it cysts on my ovaries? Like, what's going on? No, it's not cysts on my ovaries. I'm like, why do I have this bladder irritation? But I mean, like, interstitial cystitis symptoms. Long story short, I found out that it was the oxalates. I'm sensitive to oxalates. And the oxalates are very high in most caffeine products. Super high in matcha, super high in coffee, super high in all this stuff, right? Chocolate. So that's the whole reason why I quit coffee, because there is nothing worse, and as a woman, you know, there is nothing worse than having anything that resembles a UTI-like symptoms. There's just no way. Anything that irritates your bladder, this like enerving, like consistent irritation that you're feeling in your female organs, like it's just like in your female genitalia, like that's not okay. It's not okay. So you will do anything to feel better when it comes to that. So it was bladder irritation. So I quit coffee, I quit matcha, I quit all things with caffeine. Also anything that's super high, foods that are super high in oxalates, I basically just like stopped and it went away. Long and behold, it went away. And so now, like if I'm drinking coffee every single day, I'm not in the clear yet. So I need to do a couple of things. I need to look at bladder supportive herbs. I think bladder rack, some demulcents would be really good. I'm going to look at that. Maybe a tincture, like a bladder tincture, something for, urinary support, bladder support, to build the lining, because it's sensitive, it's irritated, and it's new. It's happening in my 40s, right? So strengthening the bladder as you get older, probably a good idea. At least for me it is. So I'm going to look into that, figure that out, and it just means that I'm still unable to drink coffee 5 days a week, because the week that I did coffee on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no bueno. The bladder irritation came back a little bit, slightly, like a smidge of it, and I'm just not messing with that. So, okay, so now I had my coffee this week on Monday and Wednesday, and that's it. And today I'm so tired, and I'm about to get my period soon too. So all the, between the hormonal fluctuations, the coffee shtick that I'm navigating, and waking up at 5 a.m. trying to figure out how to get 8 hours of sleep, there's a lot of variables that we are adjusting right now. And when you're adjusting a lot of variables, just like when you're adjusting a lot of variables in your marketing campaigns or your Google ads, and you're switching and tinkering with a bunch of different things, it takes a couple of weeks for things to normalize. So I'm in the phase of figuring out what my new norm is. And I wanted to share that with you, because if you're changing a lot of variables in your life right now and you feel out of sorts, it's okay. It's okay to feel out of sorts. You're supposed to feel out of sorts, because there's a lot of things that are being shifted, and we're going to find a new norm. So I'll let you know how that goes.